just here at home, what we're looking at right now, the budget we've got eats into our savings about $350,000. Now, you know, that's been done for a couple of years now, and what's happened is we're running out of that fund balance that we've got. We're running out of those reserves. I had the outside auditor was just in auditing, and the good news is all of our accounts are great. Even you hear a little bit about the DA forfeiture account. They fully audited that. Everything looks great there. There were just two small accounts that had a little reporting issue, but the error, there wasn't an error in the account, and it was to the good, so we just kind of underreported some money that was in there. Like I said, one of them, and that DA forfeiture account is one that has a little trouble because just the nature of it, it's just tough keeping the records for, but it is audited and it is good. I think the other one was just one of the little accounts over at the jail, and it's just a matter of one or two pieces of paper weren't in there that should have been. So at least we're at the good side. So we got a good clean report as far as our accounts. But he came in after he was going to leave, and his eyes were pretty wide, and his face was real white, and I could tell he didn't want to talk to me. And he sat down. He was real quiet, kind of stuttered around a little bit, and basically told me our situation. He said, "You know, you've got about $1 million in the bank." I said, "That's what I was thinking, you know, as of September 30th. That's not right now. That was as of September 30th. He said, "Well, I was looking at your budget, too." I said, "Oh, yeah?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "You know you're going to spend about $350,000 of that million that you got in the bank." I said, "Yes, sir, I had a pretty good idea of that." I said, "Let me give you some more good news." I said, we've got some leaks at the courthouse that we've got to fix. There's another $160,000 that aren't in that budget." And he said, "Oh." I said, "Yeah." He said, "So you understand where you are?" I said, "I understand exactly where I am." So that's why that I've already started looking at our budget for this year. Not only do we have to work on the deficit that we're working with right now, but we're going to see some things coming down from the state that if we don't have the proper laws in place effectively, then that's going to hit us even harder. So just to give you an idea of what I've already started doing is researching counties to get us some kind of baseline to know I can look back at our history and tell you what we've historically spent in each department. What I'm about to do is take other counties like Titus, Erath County, some others our size. Our population just came out. We're a little over 35,000 when the census came out. So I think that beats some of the projections that we had. I don't have the individual breakdowns yet for the county, but overall we're just a little over 35,000 people. But I'm going to take every other county somewhere in our ballpark, break them down to get a baseline of what they're spending and what we should be spending. And then I'm going into each department, and I've already told them, I need justification for every employee that we have. I need justification for everything you're spending money on. And we're going to go through it, and I'm going to sit down with them line by line, and we're going to figure out what we can do to make some of these cuts. Because I've got to come in and I've got to make up for, well, $350,000+. I don't know the full makeup. And it'll probably be to actually get a budget and redistricting done. Will we even know by June from the state to actually get the budget and redistricting done from the state? Do you think we'll even have it by June?
We should be able to have it. If they pass it and don't go into special session,
okay.
By June and know what state it's in.
Okay. Jim.
Here's what Irwin told me, and I hope I understood this, I think I do. In-state redistricting has to happen in the regular session.
Okay.
They're probably going to leave congressional redistricting for a special session, which is, they're talking now about July. About July for that.
Okay.
But apparently the way the Constitution's written, the redistricting of the House seats and the Senate seats in Austin has to be done in the regular session.
Okay.
So the two really big items are budget and redistricting within the state, and then the congressional type stuff will come probably in the summer.
Okay. All right. So did everybody hear that? Everybody hear what Jim said? Okay. I can tell you, I know the group, our Republican Party chairs here in this area have also been working on the redistricting, and Donnie and that group, I sent a letter in. Donnie pushed me to get a letter out for them too, but we're trying very hard to get them to leave our districts alone. Within Senator Dewell's district and our U.S. Congressional District with the Hall, most everything lines up along Interstate 30. Now, Dewell goes down a little farther south, but what we're trying to do is keep that for economic development reasons, and then just for competitive reasons. We don't want to start competing with Tyler. We don't want to start competing with Northern Collin County. It'll dilute our power too much, and there won't be any advantage to anything to us if something grows up there in Collin County or something grows down in Tyler area. We don't catch much advantage off that. So we're trying very hard to stay in Senator Dewell's district and Congressman Hall's district. And also, as far as our state rep in Erwin Cain's district, there's not a huge change that could happen, but we could get absorbed into something else that really dilutes us. And right now, from what Donnie has heard, at least in the preliminary, everything's pretty well going to stay as it is. Cain may even pick up another county, another rural county, which will help us keep our voice. So that'll be very good. So a lot of things at least, and we're very early in the session. So a lot of things at least are looking like they're going our way and we're being heard. And Donnie was even telling me this little caucus, this little powerhouse of party chairs that they formed has got the attention down in Austin. So that's real good. Donnie, and what other counties are you working with? Wood, Delta, Hopkins, Lamar, Red River, Titus County, and Rockwall. So this little coalition is making a lot of waves and building our strength around here, which is exactly what we need to happen. So hopefully that's going to push us through and keep us in pretty much the same districts we have. And from my experience with them the past 8 or 9 years or so, we've got a pretty good voice in this district, so we want to make sure that continues. Any other, I just kind of gave you a brief overview of the budget. Just some challenges we have. Our Civic Center is going to be one of our big challenges. It's always operated in the red, and that's something that we're going to work very hard to try to stabilize a little better. I know Pansy's out there. She's the sole director now, so we are at least reducing some of the salaries that were out there because we had a kind of a co-managing director situation there. So Dottie retired. We've got a little relief there. She's putting together a plan, not only with the staff and with some of the expenses, but with some of the events as well. So we're going to be looking to see savings there, and actually I'm going to meet with her tomorrow. The biggest challenge I've got is I've got to wrap my mind around everything that's going on. I've got to be a pseudo Civic Center director, a pseudo treasurer, a pseudo county clerk, so pseudo elections administrator. So there's a lot of things I've got to know a lot about. So I have a clue when we go looking at their budget what we can effectively cut and what I can push them to try to change. I was talking with our district clerk, and the district clerk handles all of the court cases in district court. So any idea how many court cases that is? Oh, yeah, okay. Wow, that says it. So they take care of all the records. So you've got files that are literally as thick as this microphone is tall. And one thing she was doing is anytime the sheriff's office needed to pick them up, anytime the probation office needed them, she was copying the file, the full file, so they would have everything. They were coming into the office, picking it up. They would sign this sign-in sheet so that she knew they took it, which is great. Now, when they called and said, hey, we don't have the file, she goes back at her sheet and says, well, yes, you do. I have so-and-so who signed it out on this date. I said, well, why can't you email those? And she said, well, we'd have to scan them. I said, well, you'd already scanned them, right? They've already started scanning. They've already started this process. And I said, so why don't we just go to emailing them over? She said, well, I won't have a record that they picked them up. I said, well, actually you will. I said, the way the email works, you can even have a return receipt, so you know that they actually opened the file. So these are just things that she never knew. It's not her fault she never knew them. It's just she hasn't been introduced to that. So she's making calls over to our software vendor, which is NetData, and going back and trying to get that. So that's kind of an automatic thing programmed in. So she'll have that read receipt in there. And now not only do we reduce the cost of the paperwork, we reduce the cost of the labor that it takes to produce those things twice. So hopefully we can see some savings there. It's little things like that that I'm looking for, trying to get into each department to just show these new things that are out there, and that's what it's going to take. It's just going to take a lot of one-on-one time to kind of reduce some things.